Well, crews in Toronto are trying to recover the occupant of a vehicle that ended up in Lake Ontario this morning. Police responding to calls of a collision where a vehicle had left the road and plunged through the ice of the Keating Channel. Now, fire officials can confirm that there was one person in the car, but they're not sure if there were more. And we can go live now to CP24 at the scene. And Beatrice, what is the latest?
Well, Roger, as you mentioned, this is now a recovery mission. That's the latest from what Toronto fire officials tell CP24. They actually had some firefighters in the water earlier that were able to visually confirm one occupant inside the car. Let me show you what's happening here on the banks of the Keating Channel. This is Lakeshore and Cherry Street, right downtown Toronto. This is a call that first came in. It was 8:40 this morning, Eastern time. The first call to 911 came into police about a vehicle that left the roadway and went into the Keating Channel. We know the car broke through the ice, became submerged, and certainly you can see just the sheer response of emergency responders that are here as well. These two first responders have been on the ice for about an hour now. They've been slowly and meticulously, it looks like, using ice picks and other equipment to try to pick away at the ice around the area where the car went into the water to clear a path here, Roger, so that eventually more first responders and heavy machinery equipment operators can start to lower the crane that you see kind of hovering over its back end over the Keating Channel here. To lower the crane into the water, really, and to start to pull the vehicle up out of the water. Certainly at this point, while fire officials cannot equivocally say that the person has been pronounced deceased, that's because they have not. Unfortunately, our first responders have not been able to check for a pulse, but you can appreciate that now more than 2 hours into the water, it's clear that that's what the situation has become. Once the vehicle is removed from the water, there is an ambulance and other first responders standing by. This person's body will then be transferred into the ambulance, then eventually to the coroner's office, and the coroner will conduct an autopsy as well to try to figure out, firstly, was there some kind of medical emergency that caused the driver to lose control, to go through the guardrail here at Lakeshore and to plunge into the water, or was there something else that might have caused his or her death? And then, of course, police and the Traffic Services Reconstruction Unit will go through the investigative portion of this to try to find out what happened in the minutes before this driver lost control of their vehicle and plunged into the water. So a slow, meticulous, now search and recovery operation here happening at Lakeshore and Cherry Street to try to get this vehicle and the one person that we know is inside of that vehicle out of the water here, Roger.
CP24's Beatrice Vaisman, thank you very much for that update.